All right, Flash Fest fans, welcome back to another recap. Look, it's too cold for me to be going for walks outside, and I got to make it convenient. So I'm just sitting here in the dining room, got my water, got my laptop up, and I'm just checking out what happened as I'm setting my own line up. So I figured, hey, why not just get it all done together? So for those of you impacted by the shutdown, I'm glad things are over. I am so happy to see some folks getting an opportunity to work again, man. This shutdown has been crazy. Can you imagine not putting in any work for a very long time? Like you just think everything is going okay, and then all of a sudden, boom, your dreams, your hopes, your livelihood is all snatched from you. Like, can you imagine what it must be like to have so much, so many goals, and to just see it just come to a complete stop and nothing being able to happen? So I'm really thankful that that the shutdown is over. Um, you know, I just really felt I was impacted by that in many ways. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful that it's over, and I'm glad that we started seeing some evidence of work being done. And while many of you may be thinking that I'm talking about Congress, while many of you may think I'm talking about the Democrats and Republicans, um, the House and the Senate, the president, I'm actually talking about Christian, Captain America. The shutdown is over. You finally won a game in fantasy. It took you a very long time. I mean, your team shouldn't have been getting a paycheck. Your team shouldn't have been able to eat whatever. Your team shouldn't have been able to do anything. Y'all weren't producing anything. Y'all were robbing Peter. Y'all killed Paul. Y'all couldn't even rob Peter to pay Paul. Y'all killed Paul. But you got it done, man. You got it done. So, Christian, congratulations, man. You finally, the shutdown is over. America says win. Yes, America says win. Congratulations, man. This first 3 minutes of this video is dedicated to you, my friend. Because I remember you sitting at the draft very confident with your draft board, and America says this is a good pick. America says this is a bad pick. America said your team is shut down until it's not. So congratulations to you. In order for you to win, that means there had to be a loser. Gorilla, you were the loser. Kevin, you were the loser. How did you lose to Christian? I don't want to Harper. I don't want to harp. I don't want to dig too deep in on that. But how did you lose to Christian? Like, do you not want to play fantasy? Is it your goal to just not be able to make the playoffs? Like, I, again, I don't want to kick a man when he's down. And when you score only 77 fantasy points, I guess there's no further way to go down. So anyway, shout out to you, Christian. Kevin, you got to get it together, turn it around for this week. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about what I saw from the Cyber Warriors. Them Cyber Warriors, they legit. They are legit. Chris, 128 fantasy points should make you competitive. As a matter of fact, you probably would have beat a lot of the competition this week. But man, Cyber Warriors is first in the other division, man. So I don't know what you would have done. I'm sitting here looking at the squad. Yeah, when you Taylor's killing. Can't nobody stop him right now. So you just ran into a tough matchup. Either way, I'm sure Cyber Wars they're gonna get it done. I mean, they pretty much have a playoff spot locked up already after 10 weeks. And Chris, I mean, you're still right there in the hunt, so you should be fine. Next, it was it's crazy because it's like Vaughn said, Kima's the only team that he's scared of. And Vaughn played like he was scared of her. Vaughn played like he doesn't believe in hitting women, that he, is very hands off. And I respect that, Vaughn, but this is a game. It's a sport. It's not that you're hitting Kima, you were trying to hit her team. There's a fundamental difference. And for whatever reason, you lost by like 70 points, man. 70 points. 70 points. You lost by like 70 points. That's almost as much as Kevin scored in the entire game. Like, that was pretty bad. Kima, your squad is tough. And what's crazy is you scored like 171 fantasy points, and that still wasn't the high score of the week. So it's some dangerous squads out here. Next one that I'm looking at is as I'm scrolling, I see New Kid on the Block beat up on, well, Juan. I'm looking at your squad. First of all, let's start with Kamara. Kamara gave you 14.5 points. He was your high scorer. I want you to know that Kamara's up there in age. And for him to be your leading scorer, well, maybe that's why you only had 75.5 points. It's fine. It wasn't the fewest, but it wasn't going to be enough to beat New Kid on the Block, man. So Bardell, look, don't y'all sleep on Bardell. He got something to prove. I mean, yeah, he's only 4-6. Yeah, he's 5th in his division right now. Yeah, if the playoffs ended the day like they said, but they don't end the day. But if they did end the day, he wouldn't make it. But he's still in the hunt. Juan, you're still in the hunt. So I ain't tripping, man. You're gonna turn it around. Next was this one was a tight one. My man Pat Deuce. That second win of the season. Pat, congratulations. You it was like a nail biter coming down against Brooklyn Bombers. Somebody I'm gonna have to show some respect to Caleb. Like, Caleb is legitimately showing you that he can play this game. He's legitimately showing you that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how you get down. It doesn't matter if you get a pedicure or not. Like, Caleb is going to ball. And so he gave you 26 fantasy points. Kittle finally woke up and got it done. And it's crazy because in terms of balance, like, Luis had a good balance. He had Matthew Stafford giving him 35 in Denver's defense, but Pat's balance throughout the entire roster was just way too much, man. I want to dig a little bit deeper into this box score because I want to show y'all, or I at least want to tell y'all, what this kind of looks like from a fantasy perspective. So if y'all take a look at what Pat did, if you look at the fantasy points, Nico Collins, Houston, George Kittle, San Fran, and then just Justin Jefferson. I'm pausing right now because I'm almost without words in terms of like how you even scored any points. Like, as I'm looking at this roster, how did you score any points? It's because you played Lewis. Enough said. And then the final game was The Bloodline, aka second place in his division, aka was 7-2. But now you're 7-3, Rob. You're 7-3. Look, I don't know how you let me beat you by 70 points. All right, 69 and a half. I know you math majors, it makes a difference. How you let me beat you by that much is beyond me. How you are 7-3 right now with this roster. Jordan Love. Did you not know he was playing Fly Eagles Fly? How are you 7-3 with Mahomes the way he's been playing? And how you 7-3 with Marvin Harrison just started getting the ball? They ain't been throwing to him. They finally started getting him the ball. Michael Pittman Jr., he gave you 2 fantasy points. Like, how are you 7-3 with this roster? Man, that other division is some trash. But you're second place in that trash division. So congratulations to you, Rob. It means that even when you lose, it doesn't knock you away from where you were at. And then, I'm sitting at 500 right now at 5-5. Look, bottom line, y'all, we got 4 games left. And the season ain't over. 4 games left. Mathematically, everybody is still in it. Now, I will tell you that after this week, it's probably not going to be the case. So, with that, let me go ahead and give my predictions. I'm calling it out. I've been terrible at the pick'em, so we'll see if I'm right here. All right. First game on my board is Captain America. Captain America against the Pros and Lights. Well, the shutdown is over, but Christian, you're not going to beat me. So let's just say that's 1-10, and that officially puts you out of the playoffs. Next, we have Chapel Hill Pundits against Neighbors. This is going to be a good game. Pat is 2-8. He needs this win. Juan has Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is he's a winner. He takes care of the football. This is going to be a game. You know what? I'm going to go with the upset. I'm thinking Pat is going to beat Juan. I think that's what's going to happen. Next game. All right, let me see. It's Von. It's them Zip Dolls against the Bloodline. I got the Bloodline. Let's see. Von just got beat down by Kima. Does that make him want to bounce back? Is he going to have some heart, or did she just snatch the life out of him? Nah, I'm going with the Bloodline. I can't. Sorry, Von. Can't do it. I'm going with the Bloodline. Let's see. We got Whip A against the Bombers. This is probably going to be a good game. Chris got a decent team. I'm going with you, Chris. I'm going with you to get it done. And then the last game, no, 2 more games. Let's see. We got Savages against New Kid. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, as I say, it's a no-brainer, but there's a pause. Like, I was just about to say the Savages, but I feel like Waddell's going to catch some momentum. So I'm going to give it to, nah. Kima going to win. I'm going to stop tripping. Then we got Gorilla against the Cyber Warriors. Now, Cyber Warriors is just too strong. Like, Kev got a chance, but I don't know if Enoch trying to lose any more games this season. Not this week. So that's my pick right there. I'm going with Enoch. Hey, last but not least, Y'all say a prayer for my man Chris. Chris, love you, man. Don't worry about all the things. Um, but while I like to have a little fun with the fantasy, while I and enjoy just having a lighthearted moment, just know you being prayed for. Love you, bro. Y'all take care.